So a couple years ago, I had a friend that was working on The Voice, and she showed my video to some of her colleagues, and they really loved it. And she called me all excited. She's like, "Lisa, I got you an audition. I think if you do half of what you did in the video in the audition, I think I can shoo you in." I got so excited about all these possibilities that I started to worry, and I started to focus on everything that could go wrong. I started to think, oh no, what happens if my voice cracks? What happens if I can't remember the words? What happens if they don't like me as much as they like my video? What if, what if? I was so focused on the what ifs that I wasn't focused on the what's, like what I'm supposed to be doing. So by the time I walked into that audition, they asked me, "Oh, Lisa, what song are you going to sing for us?" I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember the name of the song. I couldn't remember the first lyrics of the song. Eventually, I figured out somewhere in the middle that I remembered. I started singing, and I just went downhill from there. Instead of focusing on giving a great performance and doing my best job, I was so focused on the opposite that I sabotaged myself. Learning how to control your focus is one of the keys to success. And you can imagine, after that experience, I spent a little bit of time learning how to control my focus. So one of the things that was really helpful to me that I wanted to share with you guys was learning how to ask myself the right questions. So instead of asking questions like, what happens if I fail? I started asking myself questions like, well, what happens if I succeed? There's always going to be fear. But the trick is, if you ask yourself the right questions, you can get your fear to work for you instead of against you. For example, if you ask yourself, what happens if I fail? You'll think, well, I'll be really embarrassed. And you'll be so afraid of embarrassment that you won't take action. Whereas if you ask yourself the question, what happens if I don't try? Well, then you'll never fulfill your destiny, you'll never fulfill your callings or live your dreams. And that fear of regret will far outweigh your fear of failure or fear of embarrassment, and you will take action. We all know one of the keys to success is taking massive action. And one of the keys to not getting results is not taking action. So you have to ask yourself questions that will get you to take action. An example of this, when I was a kid, I was so afraid of shots, petrified of them. The only problem was I liked to eat a lot of sugar and I didn't really like to brush my teeth. So I went to the dentist and they told me that I had 12 cavities. You might be thinking to yourself, that's not possible. How do you have 12 cavities? I had 12 cavities because I had multiple holes on each tooth. So I was so afraid of the shot, I decided to get my first 6 cavities filled without Novocaine. By the 7th one, it was one of the most traumatic experiences of my childhood, by the way. By the 7th one, the dentist and my mom convinced me to get the shot. You can imagine how mad at myself I was when I realized the itty-bitty little pain of this baby shot was nothing compared to the torturous hours of drilling that I had just endured. When you realize that the pain of not going after your dreams is so much worse than the little pain of the road bumps or embarrassments you might face along the way, you'll be much more willing to take action and to go after your dreams. Another example of asking yourself the right questions. Right after high school, I was dating this guy, and I really liked him, but he was so mean to me. So mean. And he even told me that he didn't really like me that much. He didn't want to commit to me. I was there basically until he found something better. And all my friends couldn't understand why I was even talking to this guy, let alone dating him. And it was because I was asking myself the wrong questions. At that time, I was asking myself, well, I can't lose him. I mean, what if I never find someone else and I'm alone for my whole life? Or what if he really is my soulmate and he just needs more time to figure it out and discover that he loves me? Luckily, at this time, even though we didn't understand the concepts that I'm talking about now, I had a friend that got me to ask the right questions. She said, yeah, but what if Mr. Right is right around the corner and you're so focused on this guy who treats you so poorly and crying over him that you miss the man of your dreams? Or even worse, he doesn't find someone else and you spend the rest of your life crying and lonely and miserable. Well, as soon as I started asking myself those questions, it became really easy to take action. In fact, I was compelled to take action. Learning how to ask yourself the right questions, learning how to control your focus, and learning to get fear to work for you instead of against you are some key factors that have really helped me in going after my dreams. So I just want to leave you with that final acronym that we always hear, but we don't always apply for fear. You can either forget everything and run, or you can face everything and rise. The choice is yours. I hope you guys have a great day.